Hey guys, Coach Bricks here. Listen, I put a post up about roles, okay? And I got some good comments back. Some people sent me some messages, some people just posted in the comment section there. But the interesting thing about when I talk about roles, how important it is I don't think many people understand their role. Now, granted, one of the comments in the on the post was very good. You know, you have to understand your role for different situations, 100%. But one of the things I talk about is in today's workforce, in today's teams, people don't know their roles. Everybody wants to be the best. They don't want to be the leader per se because they don't want responsibility, but they want to think they're the best. But I always talk about the 90 Bulls, okay, in Jordan. And everybody on that team knew their role. They knew Michael was the man. They knew he was going to get his number of points, and he had to shoot a certain amount of times. Scotty knew he was the second guy. He knew what he needed to do. And then you had everybody else play their role. The Bulls were successful because of the roles that they understood they had to play. Now, if everybody went out there thinking that they were going to be the best and try to overtake Jordan, it would have never worked. They wouldn't have won 6 titles in 8 years. It just wouldn't happen. Because you have to understand the role that they did. If you look about it, a lot of those guys after Jordan, retired and left the Bulls, and the team fell apart, you don't really hear too much about them. Most people remember them from their days of playing with the Bulls. Because that's where they made their biggest impact, because they understood their roles. And that's what athletes have to understand. When you're on a team, you have to understand, you might be the guy who has to score. You might be the guy who has to rebound if I'm playing basketball. You might be the assist man. You might be whatever. But you have to understand your roles. The problem is, too many parents think that their kid's the greatest, X, Y, and Z, and then he needs the ball in his hand all the time. Sometimes you get to play more when you understand your roles and actually make a bigger impact and actually can get yourself looked at by schools. Just because you're not scoring 20 points a game, but if you do the little things, like my job when I played in college was not to score. I wasn't a scorer. If I scored a lot of points, there was an issue on the team, okay? My job was to play defense, go after loose balls, set picks, and grab rebounds. And then I would get putbacks off those rebounds. That was my job. I knew my role. I knew it to a T. Okay, I didn't try to be the scorer. I didn't want to be the scorer. Because that wasn't me. We had plenty of guys that could score. Wasn't me. So you have to understand the roles that are in life. Plus it also goes to, business. Okay? If I'm the manager, the top dog, and I'm supposed to make sure everybody's in position, I got to know that. And the guys underneath need to know. If everybody's trying to play a manager position and nobody's underneath, you fall apart. It doesn't work. And that's what's really boggling down society is everybody thinks they need to do this and nobody needs to do this stuff. And then what happens is you mess up and stuff falls apart. It doesn't work. I see it with teams all the time. I see it in the business force. It just doesn't work. Roles are important, and you have to understand those roles. They have to be defined out for you, hopefully, from the person out there, but you also got to fit into that. You have to mold yourself into that, right? Coach knew that my job was to go after those loose balls. That was me, and I was happy to do it. I loved it. I loved that role. I didn't like to score. I hated scoring, right? Because everybody wants to score. I wanted to drive after the loose balls. I wanted to play defense. I love that stuff. You got to find guys like that. When you do, that's when you can be successful, when everybody knows their role. So let me know what you guys think. This goes for all of life roles. It goes when you get married too. You have to know your roles. I'm not a cook. I stink at cooking. Can I do it? To a certain extent, yes, but my wife's the bomb. She's the bomb at that. I like to do outside activities. I like to build things. I like to do that. She doesn't. Guess what? I know my role when I have to do it. I go outside and I do my stuff. She takes care of the stuff inside. It's not this sexist thing that everybody tries to portray it as. We know our roles, and we get along extremely well because of that. Right? It snows out. I talked about this all the time. I go out and shovel. She doesn't come out. I don't ask her to. I know my role. She takes care of stuff on the inside. I'm good with that. We're happy. You have to know your roles. Maybe it's different for you, but we know our roles, and that's why we get along great. All right? Know your roles. Watch what you can perform, and watch how much better society would be, your business would be, your team would be if you understood your roles. And leaders, that's what I talk about in my leadership. You have to understand where to help people get into the roles. And sometimes that's the leader's job, knowing where the roles are. The coach should do it, definitely, but leaders should also be able to get the person where they need to be. Let me know what you guys think. Have yourself a blessed day. God bless you.